On Wonderwinds presents ESPN Cricinfo Fantasy Pick. All eyes on the Mumbai Indians. They've lost 2 out of 2. Kolkata have won 2 out of 3. So this is a big game for both sides at the MCA Stadium in Pune. I've got Carlos Brathwaite with me. It's a funny season, Carlos. Before we pick our fantasy team, you have the most successful team in the IPL losing their first 2. Chennai have lost their first 3. Are Mumbai going to make that dramatic comeback that they tend to, or is this going to be a tough season for some of these stalwart sides?
They always do, don't they? They always try to trick you into thinking they're not going to have a good season, and then they have this massive run at the back end. So I think it's still too early to write off Mumbai, to be fair.
All right, fair enough. In which case, would Carlos recommend you pack your fantasy team with more Mumbai players, or will you go with form and pack more Kolkata players? Let's go to our team and get Carlos's thoughts then. Before that, a quick reminder on Wonderwinds. You have 100 credits to build your fantasy team. 4 categories of players to choose from: batters, bowlers, wicketkeepers and all-rounders. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from one team in any given contest, and every player's individual credit value is listed right there on Wonderwinds. Going to our team, our top picks, our choice for captain. We're going all out Kolkata, interestingly. The KKR captain is also our fantasy captain, SHREYAS IYER. He's got starts this season in a couple of games, but he's not quite at the big score, perishing to leg spin, trying the big shot. But we think that he's going to be due for a big one. Vice captain is Andre Russell. We know what he did in the last game. So good old Andre Russell of 2019 is back. He loves being back in India, and he showed that in that last game against the Punjab Kings. That 70 of 31 would have got you loads of fantasy points. Just pull the one over. I wonder how much SHREYAS is going to use him with the ball. Captains give you double the points and vice captains 1.5, so pick them very carefully. We are recommending SHREYAS IYER and Andre Russell. Among the hot picks is also ISHAN, KISHAN and Sunil Narine. KISHAN has started brilliantly here. He's got a couple of half centuries already. 81 not out and 54 can also get you extra points as a wicketkeeper. And Sunil Narine is there. He's always going to bowl you 4 overs, whether or not he's used with bat. You know that this is someone who is economical and has every chance of getting you wickets. We also know he's got a good record against Rohit Sharma, doesn't he? Rounding off our top picks, SHREYAS IYER captain, Andre Russell vice captain, ISHAN, KISHAN and Sunil Narine in our top choices. Carlos, what do you make of that? You going with SHREYAS IYER as captain, or would be tempted to go with anybody else?
Yeah, I think if you're going captaincy, you gotta go form, won't you? SHREYAS IYER, the team doing well. He's had a good few starts, and he bats in a position which allows him to maximise the most overs and potentially get a big score, not just a 30 or 40, but potentially a 70 or 80, which could be key. So I definitely like that one. I don't ever go against Andre Russell, but for that 1.5, most people will potentially have him as vice captain. So can you chuck ISHAN, KISHAN in and try to get a leg up on your opposition as a kind of a differential?
I like that. Everyone's going to jump on Russell on the back of that last inning. So maybe you want to cash in, try and go for ISHAN, KISHAN if there are indeed questions about the Mumbai Indians. Let's go to some differential picks, players that you'll get for a decent credit value into your side. And we've got Ajinkya Rahane there. And Rahane, well, is he going to fire? Is he going to keep that opening slot his own? Once Aaron Finch is available, who knows which way the Knight Riders go. And Tilak Varma, he's looked terrific as the young Hyderabad bat. He had a lovely 33 ball 61. His wicket was arguably the turning point in that defeat to the Rajasthan Royals. So Rahane and Tilak Varma, 2 players that we think you could easily squeeze into your side. Let's go to our full team. We've got ISHAN, KISHAN, Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane, Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Varma, SHREYAS IYER is captain, Sunil Narine, Andre Russell is vice captain, Varun Chakrabarti, Umesh Yadav and Jasprit Bumrah. Wow, there are a couple of players missing in that. Carlos Timal Mill seems to be a lock-in now for the Mumbai Indians. We don't know if Pat Cummins is available. We're hearing he might be. Any of those names tempting you to put into the fantasy side?
I'd love to get Pat Cummins in. Sure to bowl 4 overs, potentially new ball and a bit of depth as well. He's a wicket taker, and you saw last year his prowess with the bat. So I think he's slowly taking himself into the all-rounder category. So he's one I'd potentially be looking at. Probably won't have him in my 11 just yet. Wait to see if he's selected. But once he's in the playing 11, he'll be in my fantasy 11.
All right, brilliant. You hear it then from Carlos Brathwaite. Big thank you to Carlos. And yes, do check in with team news before you confirm your team. And if you're not happy with how things are going at halftime, Wonder Wins lets you change things up. So don't forget that. Try and salvage some points in the second innings. Big thank you to Carlos. More from him as we continue providing you with the best of expert opinion, analysis, data to help you pick your fantasy teams right through IPL 2022 on Wonder Wins Presents ESPN Cricinfo Fantasy Pick.